So today it rained really hard here in Southern California, and we are still in the midst of it. Well, it's not raining right now, but there should be more rain. And I knew it was going to rain today, but I decided to open anyway because if I had a traditional retail space, i.e., not a warehouse converted into a store, with no roll-up door, and everything was inside and nothing was outside because I do put a couple tables outside and I have to take the gaylords out, the pallets out when I open because, as you can see, they take up space and people can't access the inventory. Then it wouldn't matter if it rains, right? Stores don't close when it rains. but but yeah, this is something that I have to deal with when it rains and decide if I'm going to open, that I've got to mess around with where I put things. And today it was going to Lowe's and buying 2 tarps to cover the inventory that I have yet to go through here, that I was plodding away through today. But yeah, to protect that from the rain, and I pretty much protected it. This one was protected here. That one over there, I had an issue with a tarp I already had, and it was just leaking right through the tarp because I guess the tarp's really old and not effective. So I found that out and then put a bunch of towels over it. So that was fun. But yeah, so I was open and it was extremely slow, unfortunately. But I did have a couple people come in and I was able to continue. Let me turn around here. Continue going through all of the DVDs that I have in bulk and adding to this table here of collections of actors. Today just reminded me of how much bigger I want to grow my eBay store as well as Amazon. Probably more merchant fulfilled than FBA, but regardless, that's not the topic today. Yeah, so of course I want to grow my store here more, have more people come in, etc. But I know when it does rain, it tends to keep people away. Unfortunately, we don't get that much rain here. And when we do, people tend to stay inside. And it is still only January 5th, 2023. It is Thursday. And so, for instance, my kids are still out of school, so people are still traveling. People are not entirely back. So that could be another factor, not just the rain. But regardless of any of those excuses or reasons, these are the days where I want to have my online presence grow even more, or grow it even more. My eBay and my Amazon inventory grow, so that when it's slow in the store, I still have lots of inventory to sell. And funny enough, I only sold one thing so far since this morning. I still have, of course, the whole night and tomorrow morning to see if anything sells on eBay. Usually I get a sale, but I haven't sold anything yet since early in the morning this morning. So we will see. Hopefully something sells. I haven't been listing though because I've been going through stuff. Although I do have a bunch of stuff to list at home, some DVDs. But anyway, side note. So yeah, it's motivating me to get through this stuff I have here and get it all listed on eBay. And then of course, I'm not finding any things for Amazon because it's all DVDs with a couple of Blu-rays and the occasional video game. Well, I didn't come across any video games today, but I usually do as I go through this stuff as well. But yeah, it's just making me think about how much more I want to grow the store. And I'm getting really good with finding stuff to sell on eBay that while it does take longer to look it up in comparison to Amazon, where you get all of the data in one page or one screen on Scoutly, which is what I use, or whichever you use. Still, I'm getting pretty good about figuring out what makes sense to sell on eBay and getting an idea based upon all the stuff that I've sold on eBay and everything I've seen and come across, basically the thousands and thousands of items. It's pretty cool. And the eBay store shows you how many items you've sold for the duration of your store. And I'm approaching 8,000 items that I've sold, which is crazy. I saw that the other day and I was like, wow, I can't believe that I've listed well, I didn't list all of them. I just have help from a couple people over the years, but I listed most of them. And you know, the fact that I listed them and then I sold and then I shipped them. So I've shipped, because I have shipped everything. Almost, it's like a couple hundred short of 8,000, almost 8,000 items just on eBay alone. That's crazy. And I've sold, I'm sure, yeah, over the years, thousands of items Amazon merchant fulfilled. So I've usually shipped over 10,000 individual items that I've sold between Amazon and eBay, not including FBA, which of course is other shipments that I sent off to Amazon over the last 8+ years. But just talking about eBay, yeah, that's crazy. Thinking that before eBay, I didn't even want to do eBay. Let me check okay, still recording. That before Amazon, I didn't want to even do eBay. I was really hesitant about it. I was used to Amazon, FBA #1, and then a little bit of merchant fulfilled. But the idea of going heavy into essentially what is merchant fulfilled, i.e. eBay, i.e. You list the item yourself and then you store it yourself and then ship it yourself. Thought of that, to me, especially the taking the photos, felt like crazy talk. But like anything else, whether it's reselling or anything else in life, but let's say with reselling media, you have to learn, there's a learning curve. And you got to learn what is worth your time, right? And not 100% of the things that I put on eBay are going to sell quickly or even eventually. Some just are not, or it's going to take a long time. Actually, I really feel like they will eventually sell for the most part, but that has to do with your patience and how much space you have. But yeah, that, that I've gotten better with picking those items that are probably going to sell. And also I've gotten to the point where I don't mind, if something looks more long tail, if it takes 6 months, a year, even a year and a half to sell, I'm continuing to add more items, list more items, and sell more items. So that's okay. The last couple of weeks, I've sold a lot of stuff on eBay that was listed anywhere between 6 months to a year and a half ago. A good amount, a higher percentage than normal of what I've sold in the last couple of weeks has been older inventory, which I love because it just proves that the more you build your inventory, the more opportunities you have to sell. And some of that stuff is older. So you listed it, 8 months ago and it finally sold, or you listed it a year ago or 18 months ago, or even 2 years ago and it finally sold. But in the meantime, of course, you've been listing newer stuff. And of course, a lot of that stuff, or some of that stuff, a percentage of it sells right away, pretty quickly, within days, weeks, or even a couple months. And you can sort of compound your efforts so that, if you don't list anything for a week, sales should still come in, that type of thing. And of course, during the really good times, whether it's holidays or whatever the good selling time of the year is, that you're still going to have sales coming in, basically. So yeah, so there's some of my thoughts that I'm excited about growing eBay, as well as growing Amazon a lot more than where it is. Between FBA and merchant fulfilled, I'm probably going to do more merchant fulfilled just because of the fee increases for FBA. However, there's items that I find that don't make sense merchant fulfilled, but there's some profit FBA. It's just a matter of making sure that those items actually sell, because one of the fees that has gone up is the removal fees for Amazon for FBA, which have become really prohibitive. I think it's up to $2 now, a little over $2, which is crazy because I remember it being 50 cents for a long, long, long time. Actually, no, 15 cents if they kept it and 50 cents if they shipped it out to me. So Amazon clearly does not want items in their warehouses that take very long to sell, i.e. books and CDs and DVDs and records. The kind of stuff that I and probably you sell. But anyway, so yeah, so but with merchant fulfilled, you can take advantage of the Amazon Marketplace and all the traffic that comes in, and their sellers tools. I mean, the sales rank and knowing, what's going to sell and historical sales and all that kind of stuff. And well, I lost my train of thought. Oh, right, but not have to worry about getting the item removed, any other hassles that there are with FBA. So I'm probably gonna go heavier into merchant fulfilled, but still not be afraid to send things in FBA that make sense. There's more profit in that than merchant fulfilled or any profit at all. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave a comment below. I talk a lot about reselling books and media online, eBay and Amazon, as well as in my store here, as you can see. And so definitely watch future videos and some in the past. Take care.